Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. It's nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming to our YouTube update that we give every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on the nSights DeFi Trader channel. Hey, Doug, how are you?
I'm good, Deb. It's Friday. You
It's
know,
Friday. I'm excited.
I
I'm
get to paint. I
excited.
get to paint cabinets this weekend.
Oh, that
Woo.
sounds fun, like super fun.
Right.
I've got two soccer games to go to this weekend. We're looking forward to soccer season again.
There we go.
So, hey, Doug, real quick, I wanted to let everybody know that indeed, Otherverse tokens, the pre-sale, it's still going on, guys. The price went up. We're in round three now. So the price is up
Right.
to 0.06. Still an excellent, excellent price to get these tokens. Of course, goes without saying, doesn't go without saying. I have to say it every time, right? Do not trade or play with money that you can't afford to lose in any
Right.
space, right? You never want to
Right.
get yourself into that situation. This channel right here is for educational purposes only, but because you're here, I have some exciting news, guys. We are launching our crypto investment club, right? This Otherverse has been a part of that. So if you found us out here on our YouTube channel and you went ahead and got yourself some pre-sale tokens, guess what? As long as you are in our community, you're going to learn about all kinds of things from here until the end of time. Great new coins will be coming, great new opportunities will be coming, right, Doug? I mean, this
Right.
is a really great place to be. So please, while you're here, go, smash the like button first. Subscribe to our channel, go to our website, jump into our Discord. There's so many things that you can do here. We're really excited to have you. Doug, what's going on in the world of nSights and Digibot?
I like that you brought up the investment club because we haven't launched that yet. It's like a soft launch of that, Deb, in that we made Otherverse available to our members primarily, but other people that listen to the YouTube channel were able to go out and take advantage of that also. And they were able to get the token initially in both A round and B round if they acted correctly with using our link and using the discount that Brian was giving. They were able to get that token for 4 cents.
Right.
Okay. And now it's at 6 cents. So it hasn't even hit the market yet, and everybody is up on
Already
their
in
trade,
profit. Whoop,
already in
whoop, whoop.
profit. Yeah. Does it on a Friday, does it get any better than
I
that?
don't
No,
think
it
so.
doesn't. So, we're getting ready at noon today. We're going to be on Otherverse with our avatars and stuff because we're going to be talking about some more things that are coming. With that in mind, Peter and I have been talking this week. We've been talking to Brian this week, and I can't say what this is, but I'm going to give you guys a pretty big heads up. There's so many things coming, but this one thing directly relates to us that Brian has given us the ability to launch something inside Otherverse that's going to be massive. And I mean massive. And I don't know if that's too big of a clue, but
That's a,
but
it's a good clue. I like
it
it.
is a good clue. It's not just massive because it's an opportunity. It's massive because it's massive. So in size. But we'll be able to talk about it next week. But I think the opportunity, and I ran the opportunity, Deb, by AI, and I asked AI a series of questions like I do. And I'll go over next week if we're ready to talk about it, probably by the end of next week sometime. I'll actually go over what AI said about this, but really what I was looking for was, when we talk about the metaverse, we think, open up our minds. We think, and this is what I was talking about Peter about this week too. Let's say, let's say you landed on planet Earth and it wasn't even the medieval times. You landed on planet Earth and the pyramids didn't even exist yet, right?
Oof.
It was a blank slate. But you had been on another planet like planet Earth, and the pyramids existed, and the internet existed, and all these things existed. And you knew that planet Earth was going to be similar to the planet that you just came from, what are the things that you would buy? What are the things that you would invest in? What are the things would you try to be part of in terms of the development of the new Earth? Now, when you put on that mindset, you are where we are. Okay. Now I'm gonna go. I hope Brian doesn't take offense to this, and I hope nobody takes offense to this. Okay, but I got to use it as an analogy because Brian owns Otherverse. He is the creator of Otherverse. Does everybody agree and understand what I'm saying when I'm saying Brian is the genius and creator of Otherverse? Okay. All right. If there is a divine being, depending on what you believe, that created Earth, right? If you came to Earth and you had that relationship with that divine being, that you could go to that divine being and go, "Hey, I'd like to build these things because I know they're coming." And they said, "Yeah, go ahead, do it." Right? Well, it's like Peter and I going to Brian. Brian is the creator of Otherverse, right? And we I Peter had this idea before, I had this idea. We came together this week as usual. We're on the same page as usual. And I said this and he said, "I've been thinking about that." And he had all these concepts and I had all these concepts and we put it together and Peter went to Brian. He said, "Sure, go ahead and do it." Right? We're going to do that on a lot of things. So when you say investment club, it's more than an investment club. An investment club goes out and looks at opportunities and tries to bring in opportunities and stuff. When we think of a new world and our relationship with the person that designed this opportunity and world, and having the ability to go to them and say, "Hey, Brian, we're thinking about doing X, Y, and Z. What do you think? Is it something we can do?" Absolutely, Peter. Absolutely, Doug. Go ahead and do that. That's a great idea. And I give you my permission,
Right.
okay, to do that. Think about the opportunities we're going to create, right? And so next week, I'm hoping, and pay attention next week, probably towards the end of the week, we'll get enough of this tied down that we'll be able to show some things. I'll show you what AI said about the opportunity. I'll show you, it rated a number of opportunities that I gave it from high, very high to moderate and low. And this was at the high on two key areas that I was looking at. Because Peter and I are kind of investors, and we have investors that are involved in what we do. I was looking at it from an investor standpoint, and I was looking at it from a potential return standpoint. I asked AI on both of those situations, how would this rank? And both of those ranked at the highest level. Not the very high. There was only one that was very high. This was the next to that. But the very high level is something that we will also look at doing, but it takes a lot more infrastructure, a lot more things that need to come in to Otherverse before we do it. It's not that we won't do it. And there is another high that I really like that we'll probably do too. So there's three things that I'm looking at creating inside of Otherverse that Brian has already given his permission on one of those things. And we'll probably develop NFTs. Whoa, there's a clue. NFTs around this opportunity inside the Otherverse. Now, when I talk about coming from one planet to another planet, right, we've already seen it happen here. We've already seen it happen in what we would call the real world. God, this is almost, isn't this weird to even use these
I
words?
know. It is
Right.
so weird. It's weird. Yeah.
It's like, am I in a sci-fi?
Right.
Oh yeah, I am. So wake up, people. Yeah, it's like Leo, wake up.
Mhm.
Um, but if we use our minds and we use our talents and we use our collectiveness as a group, and we expand our group, right? Boy, there is nothing that we can't create, can't own, and can't profit from in the relationships that we're building now. And so super, super excited about that. That's really what I wanted to come on and talk about. I do want to cover one other thing before we get off. And before I do that, I'm going to ask Deb and you guys, is there anything, any questions that you guys might have that I might be able to answer without telling you exactly what we're doing next week?
All right, let me look at YouTube. Thank you, everybody who has joined so far. We've got Frank is on, we've got Kathy is on, Candace, Kenneth Parr is on, and yeah, let's see. Um,
While Deb is doing this, guys, I can't
Not
tell
seeing
you
any
how excited I
questions.
am about this.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's just listening to you talk about that. It's this investment club. It's even more, right? It's like it's bigger than pre-IPO, right? It's pre-IPO. It's
Well,
pre like
pre,
it's being involved in
you're
the
you're
development of.
you're creating the world.
You're
So,
right. It's crazy. I love it. I'm
yeah,
excited.
yeah, and you think about anything that was profitable currently and in the past, and then you begin to think about, okay, well, what would I want to own?
Right?
What would I want to build, and what did I see through history that was extremely profitable? And I'll give you an example. One of the areas that you've heard me talk about is education, right? Going out and creating a Steve Jobs avatar and downloading AI and all of that into it, or maybe a George Washington or an Einstein, or so that people can go and actually sit down and talk with them and learn from their knowledge because we fed that into AI. I love that idea. But
I do
according
too.
to
Yeah.
AI, that has moderate appeal and moderate profitability opportunities. I think I may be wrong there, but then I don't want to be blinded by my own, view of things to say, well, let's just go for it. Well, it's those kind of things that we can look at and we can analyze and say, hey, let's create these worlds. Let's create these sovereigns, as they're called. Let's create, what we're doing here. So anyway, super, super exciting about where we are and where we're going. And from the investment club standpoint. Now, one of the things I will say about the investment club, it will not be an investment club as we call investment clubs, because an investment club is usually where you pool your money and then somebody takes control of that money and then goes out and buys the investment for the group, right? When we get at that level, there's lots of legal red tape. There's a lot of things that we got to go through. I designed it in a way that we bypass all that red tape, and I'm not going to go through those particulars because I don't want somebody else to copy what I've already designed and laid out. But there's a way for us to do it and bypass a lot of that red tape in a legal way, and it really keeps control in a way that you would like that control to be. And when we get to that point, I'll go through that with everybody. But first, we got to get some of these things moving, get that capital coming in that we want to have come in from the concepts that we're developing, so that we can go out and hire the legal team to proof what I've actually gone through and had AI already proof. I've actually, and I've taught you guys how I use AI, right? I have the concepts, but I go to AI and then AI gives me an answer. Sometimes they're wrong. Then I'll question AI on that in relationship to what I'm thinking. AI will come back and tell me if I'm wrong or if it's wrong, right? And we keep working our way through until we get to analysis. And I did that on the investment club, and I came up with what I think is a phenomenal approach to investment clubs, which nobody else that I know is doing. And it makes it legal and makes it simple for everybody to be involved. So we'll be
And,
working our way through that too.
and when I talk about the investment club too, I am I'm not for me personally, I'm not thinking about the specifics, like the process.
Right.
What I'm thinking about is the community, the knowing, the seeing something new that's coming, the being an early, you always want to be an early adopter in anything
Right.
that you're excited about, right? It's having the ability to be an early adopter in something that might be really super cool and might benefit me financially at some
Right.
point.
And I would say you're in our cases, because we're the creating of these worlds or these sovereigns and stuff, uh, we're actually earlier than the early adopters,
Right. We're like
right?
the
We're pre-early adopters, right? Because
we're the early
we're,
birthers.
I like that.
See, we're not adopting the concept, we're actually giving birth to the concept ish.
Give me a one in the chat if you guys like that. Because that's true, Deb. That's an absolute truth that we are coming up with the concepts, we're coming up with the ideas, and we are giving birth to something new, right? And that's exciting. So,
And giving our
and
community the opportunity to be a part of that whole birthing process, which
right,
that's the difference, right? It's not just us coming up with an idea and running with it. It's having a whole community of our crypto club, right? Who can come in and be a
right.
part of it. Yeah, I love it.
Right, right, right. And we are interviewing a couple of different affiliate companies that want to come in and market our stuff and start really pushing insights and Digi and stuff out to the world. And I'll talk about Digi. I'm glad I said Digi there for a second, but push it out to the world. But when we were going through all the stuff that we do, and they saw on our website the one little line, investment club coming soon type deal, they asked about that, and I started going through what it would be and how it would work and stuff. Both of them said simultaneously, sign us up,
Yeah,
right?
sign us up
So
for that.
yeah, and they're super, so there's a lot of excitement to being, and the one guy is into S&P and stocks and stuff, and so he said, Doug, that's like an IPO. Well, he was right, and I said, yes, it's like an IPO, but it's really pre IPO, because that's like what Deb said, right? So it's as early as you can get involved, unless you're inside my brain or Peter's brain coming up with the concepts.
It's
Then
scary.
then yeah, yeah, you don't want to be there.
There's a
But
lot going
but
on.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're as close as you want to get to being in there, trust me. So anyway, so
Awesome.
the other thing is that Digi now has its version of what nSights does done, and it's on the server for Deb and I and Candace to go in this weekend and part of next week and actually test it, run it with our accounts and see it work, right? So it'll do the grids, the pullback grids. It'll do the pullback grids exactly like nSights does. It doesn't have the cycle trade and the limit orders and all those things yet, but it has the pullback grids just like nSights does. And we'll be testing that this week and weekend. And I guess in between painting cabinets, and but we'll be running some grids in there and seeing them run. We already have a few grids running that we're waiting to see how they respond by Monday. And so for you guys that would like to be involved in the beta version of that, you just need to and poor Candace, she's going to wonder why you're sending her information again,
Right.
because she had to go to the doctors here. Uh, but if you'd like to be in the beta version of that, just say, Candace, I'd like to be in the beta version of the Digi test. Okay. Um, and then maybe she'll clue in and not be too mad at Deb and I
I
for
yeah, I
telling
think
you.
she's still on though. I do think she's still on
Oh,
the,
okay.
the
All
live.
right. So I'm hoping Candace hears
We
that.
got her
So
last time. This time
yes.
I think she's going to be ahead of us.
All right. All right. We're good to go there.
Yeah.
The last thing that I want to end with, and this is probably not a great thing to end with, is when you build charts, when you build software and stuff, you're reliant on what are called data feeds, right? And we go out and we buy a number of data feeds to give us market information, market data, so that we can plot our charts and build our charts and stuff. For some reason, the data feeds that we have on 1inch inside nSights right now is off. Okay. So because that data feed is off, not matching what TradingView is doing, not matching, what other feeds are doing, I'm concerned about that. We've done a recording, gotten that to the programmers, and I and Deb have deleted our 1inch grid that we did on Wednesday, because I don't want, and this is a good lesson. This is a very, very good lesson. And I've taught this to Deb and everybody over and over again. If you get into a trade, and we haven't gotten into the trade yet, and so we were able to delete it without getting into a trade. So if you have a trade pending, or you're in a trade, but you're in that without it being the reason that you wanted to be in it, I automatically cancel the trade. Even if I think the trade might go up from there, or I don't know what it's going to do from there, right? If I don't have time to go out and do the analysis, if for some reason the system bought at the top of a market and I'm 1 or 2% negative, I'll delete that trade. I'll take the negative hit, cost average that into another trade that I want to be in, and then move on from there. But I never, ever take a position that for whatever reason I got into that trade and I'm not in that trade for the reason I wanted to get into it. So we deleted those two. We'll look at it again next week on 1inch when I know that our price feeds and our data feeds are matching what I'm seeing in the rest of the market. Okay. So good lesson there. Really excited about the future, guys. Hang on for next week. I'm hoping that I can announce what we're going to be getting into. You guys are going to be blown away, fully blown away. And so super excited about it. Okay. Deb, anything else?
No, just mentioning that we've got a couple of really big, cool things coming from just from our relationship. Well, it's so many things, but two very specific things now, Doug, that you're saying, hey guys, hang out, wait for the information, but we've got this really cool opportunity, and now we've got this really cool opportunity. There are going to be lots of these coming through our relationship with Otherverse, so hang on for those, but also know that as we move on, there's going to be all kinds of other tokens and I mean, it's just going to be a land of opportunity here. What I love about that, Doug, is in the background, you can be trading with nSights and Digibot, doing your own thing, having your own, fun over there, learning how to trade. And at the same time, you can be involved in all of these really cool things that are coming our way. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's just a perfect storm, right? It's a perfect
it
place to
is.
be. Perfect
It
place.
is. It is. It really is a perfect place to be. And it's a place that really allows you to take advantage of things that are coming. So
Yeah.
super excited. So Deb,
Love
thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. And you know what? We have Saturday morning training tomorrow morning for anybody who's interested in coming on. Get on Zoom. You can ask your questions directly to Doug or directly to myself or Candace. We come on every morning, or sorry, every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific. You can come join us, and we hope you do. Get into our Discord, and you will see the link to that call for tomorrow morning. And Doug, I will see you there.
Yeah, and I'll see you in a half hour in Otherverse.
Oh, yes. Yes. Did you see that wake up?
Yeah,
Did you see the light bulb just go on? Can
I
you
did.
physically
I
see
saw
that?
it go off. Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to
So
go
I'll
get in
see you
there
there.
now, so at least I'm in there before, in case another
That's
squirrel
a
comes
good
by.
that's a good idea.
I'll go sit in the podcast room or something. Wait
There
for
you go.
people.
Hang out. There you go. All
All
right.
right.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great
Thanks,
weekend.
Doug.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.